Hey everybody, welcome to The Voice Roundtable Recap. I'm David Komer.
And I'm Carol Brown.
Andrea Blum can't be with us today. She's actually got to work. What's that all about? Anyways, we're talking about the playoff round of this week, where you end up having 2 people sent home, 10 people kept from the final dozen. So we saw performances from the final 3 of each team, and let's get into it right now. The 2 people who end up going home. Michaela Page, which just killed me.
Me too.
She sang Blow Me One Last Kiss. And the other person we waved goodbye to was Adriana Louise off Team Christina, who sang Bad Girl. And Carol, your thoughts about those 2
well,
sent home?
First, my thoughts are at this point, everybody's good. It's hard to pick who's going to win. It's hard to pick, I think, who's going to go home. But if I had to pick who was going to go home, probably Adriana would have been one of them, but Michaela wouldn't have been.
Do you think that Christina has any buyer's remorse of keeping Adriana over Deborah? Even though I think Adriana did the better singing performance last week, I think Deborah is just a better performer, if that makes any sense. And maybe had she kept Deborah instead of Adriana, maybe Deborah would still be there.
She may be having some of that angst.
Because I don't think Adriana, although she performed really well last week, I don't think with Bad Girl it was really groundbreaking or anything.
Right.
Save for some humorous interplay with Adam Levine. But I have to ask.
Yeah, that was fun.
So we have 2 teams get 3 people through. First of all, Team Adam. Amanda Brown sang Spectrum, not her best performance.
True.
I thought it was shaky. We had Brian Keith, your guide, who sang Back to Black, which I think was his best performance of the entire show. And we had your favorite and mine, not really, Melanie Martinez, who sang Cough Syrup. And I'm a Melanie fan. Carol's not. Although had I had my druthers and I had to make Sophie's choice between Melanie and Michaela, totally would have picked Michaela over Melanie if I had to save one. And I'm man enough to admit that.
Okay.
But I thought Melanie did a nice job.
She did. In fact, out of all of her performances, I have to give her this one's the best one because why? It was less breathy.
So you liked it more than Hit the Road Jack?
Yeah.
Okay, well, moving on. Team Christina, we had... Well, actually, let's go to the other team that had 3 get through. Okay. And to be honest, with Team CeeLo, I think all 3 could make the final 3, to be honest. I think they're that good. I think, we've said all along, he's the strongest team. You had getting the Vote from America, Trevin Hunt, saying When a Man Loves a Woman. Really strong, right?
It was good, yeah.
He's got to, get a little better,
He's still not
though.
one of my top 3, though.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's been one of yours in the beginning.
I really like him, but my love is starting to wane a little, just because I want to see something more from him. I think he seems to kind of be uneven all over, and then he brings the house down at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree.
And so it's almost kind of like he almost has that ending that bails him out when he's been up and down. Nicholas David, I thought, sang a hilarious version of Power of Love, which I thought worked.
Yeah.
If anything, I thought this is the band's fault for not slowing it down in certain spots to accommodate him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Rather than, they almost made it sound like, oh, you're trying to catch up. Well, not really, but I thought.
I'm of the belief he can sing anything. Anything.
Huey Lewis in the News.
And I'm so glad America
I know.
sent him through.
The voice of a 70s Motown legend, yet he can even do Huey Lewis.
I know.
I think that's so cool. And then I think, I talked about with Andrea last week, and you weren't able to join us, but Cody Ballou, I think, has been the big surprise, the kind of the feel-good story of this season. And for him, I mean, he wasn't a great performance. He sang The Best by Tina Turner, but I thought he was pretty good. And
yeah.
he's such a good entertainer.
He is. He's good.
And he showed
he's
some range.
got range. Yeah, we were both saying the same thing. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
range.
And I thought it was kind of interesting after the America votes for those first 2 protections. CeeLo stood up and said, Cody, I effing love you too. That was kind of weird. Hadn't seen a judge kind of go overboard like that. And he was ready to cry. It was kind of weird. Now, go to the teams that lost people. Team Christina, you had Des Duran singing Can't Keep My Eyes Off of You, the Lauryn Hill version.
He didn't do anything wrong. I wish he would do something wrong.
Interesting. Yeah, give me a reason to quit you, or what's the
Right.
Yeah, exactly. With him, it's something about him though. It's kind of here's bad, here's awesome, and he's right in that middle. Never kind of like, I thought this was a little neat because you got to see him croon a little, and it was a different side of him somewhat. So, not too bad. Now Sylvia Yacoub singing "My Heart Will Go On" kind of has a weird resemblance to Celine Dion. My wife thought.
Yeah.
Right. Kind of like a young version before the fame.
Maybe.
But what did you think of that one? I thought it was a little inconsistent.
So did I. But again, I like her a lot, and I'm glad she made it through. But
she's someone I did not start off liking, but I've really kind of come around on her.
Yeah, I like her.
So she's a really good job. And then last thing, Team Blake, you had Terry McDermott got through with "More Than a Feeling," and the other one that got through was Cassidy Pope singing "Behind These Hazel Eyes." And let's just start with the good first. Terry McDermott, so happy for this guy, you know?
Yeah.
It's nice to see America has good taste. And although a little tired of the classic rock groove, you know?
I know.
Give him some R&B. Let's just shake it up. You know, that's what I say.
Really, I'd like to see him do something different too. I would.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's very, very, very good. He could take the whole thing.
He might.
He's that good.
I don't know, but he might be the most polished performer of anyone,
Okay.
with the most hours on
so.
stage, and just a complete pro. You can just tell. And then, so happy to see Terry. Want to see something different. And now let's go with Cassidy Pope. How does this keep happening, America? Can you please explain yourself? Is this? I mean,
I don't know.
Avril Lavigne light, maybe you could call her.
Very good.
Oh, but kind of with a weird Dolly Parton-ish tenor to her voice sometimes.
Okay.
She has a kind of a weird Dolly sound when she sings normal, which my wife, credit my wife Robin for pointing that one out. She could almost, if this rock thing didn't work out, rock pop, she could do country, really. She's got a weird Dolly Parton, dime store Dolly Parton, poor man's version, but why does this keep happening, America?
I don't know.
And the hell of it is, the minute she made it through, I knew one of my favorites was going to be out the door, because I really thought her and Adriana were on the bubble going in, and for her to be the first one they announced, you know, again, I threw up a little in my mouth. So, not too much of a fan of Cassidy, but going forward, we're looking at 2 people getting eliminated each week,
I know.
on through December 17th, which seems a little odd to be going that long. What do you think of this format?
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it works. We get to see everybody in one night. I like that part. Soon it'll be down to 1 hour.
I know, right? It's almost feeling like work, but we love it. Michaela,
love you. Bye-bye.
I don't know if our heart will go on, but I'm still mad about Marissa Ann. So, part of me, part of me is already dead, and I just can't. You know, it's just whatever. We're playing out the string now. But again, as long as Team CeeLo's in the hunt, I'm invested.
Yes.
I really hope, by the way, this isn't the beginning of the end for Amanda Brown. The fact that she was shaky and really kind of coasted through, kind of on her previous work. A little worried about that.
She can sing like a diva if she gets the right.
Oh, and her range is limitless, just about. And then the final thing, just the group performances. Can you agree with me? It's kind of sucky.
Yeah, they can skip those.
I've only seen maybe 1 or 2. And the part of the problem is, I think last year when they did these, you had smaller teams maybe of people left. So it almost didn't seem like, I mean, this time it was more team specific, but in the last couple episodes or previous weeks, it was like, oh, here's Nicholas David, and, okay, let's go to Cassidy. Yeah, okay, let's go to, it was like, they got 2 words, and then you're like, on to the next person, because they got to fit everyone in. I'm not a fan. But anyways, stick with us. We're on through December 17th, and we'll see what happens.
We'll see who wins.
Exactly. We really will.